Hey everybody, episode 400 coming at you. We totally didn't forget until the end of the episode when we saw what number we were on.
Yeah, we totally knew that this was episode 400 because obviously we mentioned it last week and we commented about how cool it was that our 400th episode also lined up with the Curse of Ula'tek patch coming out, and we totally aren't recording this intro to the intro after we recorded episode 400 because we would never do that.
Yeah, keep your peepers open, everyone, for some extra special episode 400 segments. Enjoy the intro.
At 401, 401 will be the celebration of 400 where we'll forget because everyone knows the money shot is episode 420. Oh, we're so close. Everyone, mark your calendars. We got 20 weeks to go. We're going to go out with a fucking bang.
We always do what we say we're going to do around here.
Someone do, Aaron, this is the part where you're going to insert the exact time in seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months until episode 420 and do it like Helga and Hey Arnold.
Here I go. We have
140 days and 3-ish hours.
Until 420.
Until 420.
Okay, perfect. All right, the rest of the episode will totally be about 400.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Yes, it's me, Slidewhistle. I'm a snake.
It's me, Immunization, the snake.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching. What's that? It's an update from Chen Stormstout. He's got a fun little side mission for me to do in the Argentina.
Oh boy. I mean that's the most interesting thing we got going on this week, right? You gotta follow up on that.
Okay, I did it. I collected 6 lanterns and put it in the inn. Now it's time to go to the Coiled Isle. That is a play on actually what I did. That I woke up at 6 a.m. because, as stated in the previous episode, I was on a anniversary trip with Cubby Bub during Tuesday and Wednesday. So I got in at 6 a.m. and I said, oh boy, it's time to play 12.1. And I happened to be in the Argentina, and Chen's like, you didn't do all the quests. Here's an extra one. So I was like, I mean, when's the next time he's going to have this quest in here? I guess I'll do that first.
You know what's kind of funny? I had a similar experience when I first logged into the patch on my hunter. I was in the player housing area. I guess I must have collected my rewards from the last thing in the main plaza. And then there was this mysterious floating cursed relic that was like, hey, check me out. I know you want to click this and then get some new decor. And then I clicked on it and it's like, you want to phase into an instance to do this? I'm like, no. Floating cursed relic, you can wait there. I'll be back after I go to the Coiled Isles.
How many times did you think about WoW while you were on your anniversary vacation?
Really, I will say this. I had a great time, and I love hanging out with my wife. The only time was we made it to the hotel, and the area of the beach we could go to, because this is a hotel that was based on Lake Huron, was closed. And the pool was closed. And we didn't really... Things were closing down because Mackinaw's kind of a sleepy city. So we didn't have anything to do other than watch FXX, the FX bonus cable channel, which was having a 24-hour Family Guy marathon, which I'm not even going to front. I'm okay with the guy. But as I was sitting there listening to Stuart and Peter's favorite goofs, I was thinking, you know what? This is the opening day of Curse of Ula'tek. I'd really love to be Curse of Ula'tekin right now.
Yeah, and I feel like having TV I don't care about on in the background, that would be the perfect time to, pull up WoW on the laptop or something if you had one.
I almost logged into their computers downstairs and said, I just need to download something. I need to do this for work. And I just sat there in the lobby going...
It's honestly really funny. I was in the Coiled Isle and I was sitting there playing and I was like, Something about me wants to be in a hotel room watching a 24-hour Family Guy marathon. So we were ships in the night. We're, passing by, waving at each other.
Woo, just like the ships I saw on Mackinac Island. Oh, boy.
Also, if anyone goes, there's going to be a lot of fudge that you got to decipher. But everyone, Cubby Bub kept her ears open the whole day we were there. Joanne's is the best fudge. However, if
That's
you
what
want
people
some,
were saying.
yes, that's what
The
this
word on the streets, and by streets we mean horse highways.
Yes, that's what the streets were saying. Also, my fun fact for Mackinac Island was always that they bag up all the horse poop in plastic bags. Went there, they don't do that nearly as fast as you think. A lot of horse shit gets dropped on the floor and chundered under horse hooves.
Oh yeah, there's no speed. It's the sleepy city. They're like, it's horse shit. People know what to expect.
People don't have anywhere to go. The whole place just smells like shit. So I don't know.
Speaking of evil green liquids, we'll get to that in a second. My favorite moment was Cubby Bub was walking around. She goes, nice, are you okay? She goes, I was ready for horse poop, but for some reason, I wasn't ready for horse piss. And I said, yeah, they tend to do both of them in high quantity.
Talk about spicy water, am I right?
The spicy water. Ugh.
Okay, last back-on-all question. Did you guys go to the fort? Did you guys go walk around the fort?
The fort is a paid experience, so no. It already
Not them
cost...
gatekeeping the fort.
Yeah. The fort was the only paid experience. It was that and one house that, like, Jonathan T. Mackinac gave to his favorite slaves. And it was a very small house, and I was like, I don't want to see pictures of them, like, jiving in here. That's going to make me sad. So we didn't do that. We walked around all the main touristy parts, because eventually they were like, you can go back there where people live. And I said, I don't want to visibly see lake people. I'm good. We did go to the Pink Pony Club. It was neat. Chapel was there. I said, you're waiting tables now? And she said, yeah. With my attitude, do you think I was going to keep doing music? And I said, very true.
We'll be looking at her on stage in a week, so she must be getting back into it.
Yeah, she had the tips were so good at the Pink Pony Club. She said, Mike, she got the amount of money. She was like, my career's back.
But from lake people to snake people, we're in the temple of Ula'tek underneath the Coiled Isle. Is that what it's called? The temple of Ula'tek? What's that underground green area called?
The Temple of Ula'tek,
Yes,
I think.
the Temple of Ula'tek, which I love. I believe was a temple just made because they were like, this snake woman sucks so hard. Like, was this like a city that worshipers lived in? I remember we met that really scared ghost, and I read his epitaph, and it was like, he built an entire civilization on top of Ula'tek so no one would ever look at her again.
Yeah, they like wanted to like entomb her and all of her shit away.
I feel like the entire like intro story of this patch was basically everyone trying to figure out what information about Ula'tek and the origins of the Amani Empire were true, what like the real tea was, and then at least from Jules Jean's perspective, try to resurrect that power. It's like we already kind of are. Do we want to talk about the story?
I mean, yeah, what the hell else we could talk about? Yeah, let's start there. But like, so like, I think it's very gruesome start with people getting picked up and taken away. And before it was even like story, it's just, it's a quest, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, help, we're under attack. And I'm just walking around and I see a fucking big ass snake, flying snake swoop down and pick up some lady. And I was like, oh, surely I can attack the thing and make it drop her. And I just watched her go into the skybox and I'm like, oh my God, she's gone.
And there were a lot of them, a lot of prisoners taken captive. It was kind of scary, actually. They were like coming down at us from all angles.
And it's particularly rude because they're taken live, but to my knowledge, they just throw them in big pits where they explode and die. It's like not nice. It's like, we only took them alive so that they can wiggle around extra when they splat. But reeling back, so eventually I feel so bad. And I guess that is the whole point, is that he doesn't have a point. But Zul'Jan's like, the Loa will never do anything for us ever. They stink. In the very first quest, they're like down on the ground throwing people with you. Like I was doing Devil May Cry combos with like a Keels on, and I was like, that is so dumb that this guy said they don't do anything. They're all right here. It's one thing to be a Loa where it's like, oh, I'm just your spiritual guide. It's like, no, they're doing more work than we are out here.
But then what happens?
Oh shit, that is true. They reached the load zone of the Coiled Isle, and they said, our assets are not built for that zone. We cannot cross the bridge.
I like how they just point blank said, yeah, we can no longer go with you. You must go alone, Zul'jara. Like the Coiled Isles, I think the only explanation we really got was them saying, yeah, there's a badass curse here that prevents any Loa from approaching this Coiled Isle.
Did you talk to them after that was said? Because you could. It was an option.
I did, and they basically said that.
Halazi was like, every inch of my body aims to rip the throats of these snakes out. And as much as I want to, I'm just unable to move my paws past this line. It's like, he goes, motherfucking Ula'tek. He's like, ooh, Halazi's swearing.
Yeah, they basically all said that. That like they're like, oh, we really wish we could. I'm like, okay, guys. Do you think this is just like the Loa Union saying like, no, we will not be working overtime without compensation?
Well, the Loas were corrupted and taken by the one-eyed bandit Zuljin. I always forget his name. There's so many Zuls at this point. So they probably put it in their union contract that we will not be getting within 10 feet of corruptible things anymore.
It's weird. I talked to Naralak, and he was like, RTRT, there's a 24-hour Family Guy marathon over on FXX. I gotta get back to that. And then if you go back and you go to Naralak's den, you can hear him going, oh, he's fighting the chicken again! So, humdy-dum. I mean, we're really just kicking ass and taking names here until we reach Zul'Jan. And then the big incident happens. The big wiggly knife prick heard around the world.
Ouch!
Yeah, so we approach Zul'Jan with Zul'jara, and then she's like, brother, no, don't do this. We don't need to summon big bad Ula'tek to prove that we are a powerful nation. Like, stop. And then he's like, no, I don't need to listen to you. And he like, kind of like just shoves her away, and in the shove, like slices her arm with the spooky Malacras corrupted blade. I was just like, okay, it was just like a slash. That was it. And I was like, kind of rude to do to your sister, who like obviously is just trying to make sure you're safe.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if he was like, get back, I'll stab ya, and like slashed at her. It really was just kind of, he turned around quickly, and she was like, you nicked me. Which, being a middle brother, I both to Adam and Alex, I have accidentally like swung my hand at the pool and clipped them with a fingernail. So I understood. I was like, accidents happen. That's just little brother code.
Did you see the debuff she had on her from the
I
glow
did
cut?
not. I saw that she was leaking green. So very obviously it was going to become a set point or set piece. But I was just like, man up. What was it like? Dying of the 12.1 Curse of Ula'tek.
It was said something like, has an infected wound that will not close, or something like that. Like will not heal. She got sepsis. That's what she's got.
Yeah, so then we basically regroup with her like at the main like camp on the Coiled Isles, and then we go on like a little bit of a side quest with Orwena to try to get more information about basically Ula'tek. And the like shamans, priests, healers, like Liadrin's there too as a paladin, are all trying to heal Zul'jara during this time. And when we come back, basically it's revealed that like none of them have been able to heal her.
Which I want to say, while we were on this side quest, Orwena briefly gets taken over by the ghost of the lady who summoned Ula'tek the first time. And I thought, oh no, Orwena's been turned evil. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But then we punch her in the face really hard, and she goes, thank you, that's all it took. And I was like, oh.
You know, it was actually really scary though, because like the priestess who originally summoned Ula'tek was just like taking people over. It was kind of scary. I was also a little bit high, but like I was like, oh man, this is a little
Yeah, she was
creepy.
she was going into Tortolan being like, this body fits me great. And I wanted to be like, okay, time out. Tortolans are not, you can't kill them. They're a safety race. It makes me too sad to fight them.
And then it was cool. Cool. She was just like, I will heal you. Don't worry. I'll heal everybody.
Oh, well, so yeah. So then, the part that you're referring to, then we like have this whole like flashback where we play as the original priestess that summoned Ula'tek, and we basically see the original summoning of Ula'tek and the war with the
Akir.
like the Akir, yeah. And basically it was kind of a similar parallel, I feel like, to Jean and Zul'Jara. I guess in this instance the priestess would be Zul'Jan because the priestess's brother was like, sister, what are you doing with this ritual? Stop that. And then like her creepy little like main like minion was like, yes, priestess, take this dagger. This is what we need to do this. And then you're like, okay, I'll go power it up. And then the brother's like, yeah, priestess, use your power to heal all of our people. We will fight back the Akir. And she's like, sure, I'll go and heal them. And I like how they actively gave you a button that said to heal. And then it was just like, whenever you pressed it, did you guys try pressing it?
That's what I was about to say was, yeah, this woman is even more, or she was not conflicted like Zul'Jan. Zul'Jan's trying to maybe do the right thing. Yeah, you go and heal someone, you press 5, and she goes, nah, she no longer has an interest in doing that. Which, like, I had only sucked up one guy when I did that. She was just like, I will use this to heal my people. Does a single, like, leech seed and goes, fuck, that's actually pretty good. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, so instead of healing the wounded, she's like, yeah, you guys aren't useful anymore, so I am going to suck all of your souls off into this cursed blade to then...
Which I may say, those trolls had it coming because they would set her up with a perfect one-liner every time. They could be like, oh, we're weak. We can't do anything for you. And then she would be like, you can be my power. Or it's like, oh my God, we suck. Speaking of sucking, that's what I'm doing to your life force. It's like, if even a single one had been like, can you heal me? She would have been like, damn, I guess I got it. You didn't give me a one-liner.
No, but like the biggest one, it was like literally her mentor. Like, and then she's like, no, you're past your usefulness to anyone.
I like the rival one. It was just this lady who was like, I always knew you were wrong. And she was like, I always knew you were weak. And then she killed her. And then she's like, I never liked you. She goes, I didn't like you either. And I'm like, this is just two petty bitches. Like,
yeah, imagine
fighting.
Summoning a death god, genociding, and be like, oh, that bitch Janice is over there. I'm really going to suck the life force out of her.
So here's a little theory that I maybe saw on Reddit.com that I've been thinking about. I don't think it's what's happening, but what would your guys' thoughts be if it was what's happening? Is this all of this that's happening, all of what we talked about, all of what's currently happening? It's very Xal'atath coded. A dagger, souls, into blade, unleash thing, corrupt person, go crazy. Is this really Malakras, or is this Xal'atath for some reason pretending to be Malakras? The mask appeared out of nowhere. Who would do that? Xal'atath. Why would she do it? I don't know. Fuck around, dick around. She should be busy right now, right? She should be in the middle of the fucking Azeroth. So it doesn't really make sense for her to be doing this. But I guess she's distracting everybody with a patch while she goes wiggle her hands in the basement of Azeroth.
That second point is what I feel like is the thing. Like, yes, she is mean and a trickster, but she's in the middle of the world, and at the moment, we have no way to track her down. I feel like, okay, so in fiction, I feel like she would not be like, let me split off and really goof with them for a while. She would just be shooting all of her purple laser beams into Azeroth right now. And also me, as a human, boo! Let other people take the front stage, like, sometimes. if we've been doing Xalatath Void stuff this whole time, and then it's revealed the side threat, also her. Boo!
I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, a lot of it, again, the dagger, literally the magical dagger that sucks up souls and gives you power. Like, like I don't know. It just feels. And also, Malakras was very handsy. Malakras was very handsy with Zul'Jan. He was going behind him, putting his hands on his shoulder when he was like, "No, you have to do this." But like, it
choking him out, even, you know.
Lore-wise, it would make more sense for it to actually just be Malakras because, you know, the whole Zul'Jin thing, they were hanging out. So yeah, I don't know. It's just some spirits for thoughts.
I mean, I personally think it is actually Malakras. Perhaps Xalatath led or planted some seeds to make the second coming of Malakras and Ula'tek happen. But I think everything that is happening is actually in relation to Zul'Jan and Zul'Jara's family history and the Empire and whatnot. But I do agree with you that I would not put it past Xalatath to kind of speed that along to give everyone a distraction.
Infinitely better if Malakras, for sure. However, I do want a scene where, like, you know, in Harry Potter, when they figure out it's Voldemort from the diary and the letters. What if, like, Malakras, and then it turns into Xalatath, and like, how? Those aren't even the same letters.
No, all the loops on the M and the S's go tss and turn into snakes that turn into shadows. The M becomes Xalatath. Oh no! Also, this was gonna slide in a lot easier, but I got feeling a type of way when I was playing, and I want to call 12.1's first sexiest NPC of the week.
Whoa!
Oh!
And it is that big green meanie himself. I'm talking about Ghost of Malakras. Now, all you BC heads out there who did Zulamon the first time, I'm not talking about that one. That crusty ass yellow guy. I'm talking about what he looks like this time. I feel like they keep adding more and more heft to him, and it's more and more like smooth bodybuilder. I refuse to believe the original Malakras was this, like, built.
And you know what? I have to agree with you, and I'm glad you brought it up first, because I was thinking it. Everyone was probably thinking about it. I mean, there are several points during this patch's, like, quest line and the cinematics and whatnot where Malakras was kind of giving, like, horror movie villain, and in a way where it's like, you know how, like, sometimes they're just, like, hot. I'm like, why are you so sexy when you're, like, the main antagonist here? And what made me think about this was, in particular, I think it was the cutscene at the end of the dungeon, we literally get jump scared. It felt like a horror movie jump scare where, like, he hops out of the portal, chokes out Zul'Jan, and, like, pulls him underwater. It felt like the end of, like, Friday the 13th.
He's like kissing his neck and shit. I know, not literally, but, like, he's, like, sassily talking to us as his, like, his neck is cresting over Zul'Jan's, like, shoulder. I was like,
I'm
this
like,
guy
damn.
is, like, Kvunty.
Malakras daddy, like, with your, like, sexy mask on, like, choking me from behind and whispering in my ear, like, okay.
Now, would you be sad getting Zul'Jin's sloppy seconds?
No. I mean, like, I feel like Malakras is as you just said, is the hottest he's ever been. That's not even just, like,
That's
based off of
true.
old models. Like, he definitely had a glow up. So I feel like everyone before should be jealous of us now, you know?
He only got better after he broke off his fling with Zul'Jin. He hit the bench, and now we're getting him at his best.
Also, damn, I'm realizing, like, it is very horror movie coded because, like, he's straight up obsessed with that bloodline, which is a pretty common trope, I feel like.
And sexy. He all stays in the family with Malakras.
Oh, God.
The family.
Imagine going through the Shadowlands and being like, next, I'm going to fuck your grandson. No! As Zul'Jin's, like, banging on his cage, and Revendreth, let me out! I gotta stop this! I gotta save me boy!
Yeah, but, okay, Malakras, I assume we will see you again, so we can give you that award. Honestly, good job, Aaron. I'm really glad that this is a good entrant here. But to go back to the story, in particular, I guess the cinematic that I was referencing about the end of the Altar of Fangs, I felt really bad for Zul'Jin because, at the end of it, he's basically talked off of the cliff, literally, by Orwena and Liadrin. They're like, dude, your sister's dying. Remember that little tiny paper cut you gave her? Yeah. She's at 0.5% health and she will die. So what are we doing here? And then he hands over the spooky, stinky knife. And then that's when he's snatched up by Malakras.
Yeah, and then when he leaves through the portal, it says in brackets, screams of agony. Oh, Malakras says something to the effect of I may have use for you.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at the raid bosses, but I'm gonna be sad if he gets turned into remember when Lady what's her face got turned into a big crab monster?
Oh,
If we have to fight a giant thing that's made out of Zul'Jin's skin, I'm gonna be sad.
Oh, yeah, because, even in that dungeon, we saw, all of their weird, snake experiments that they were creating, which also, they were getting really crazy with some of these models on this patch, the one with, all the snakes coiling in itself, veins. I'm like, ew, gross. I don't want to see this. Can we get, a snake fear mode, they have, the arachnophobia mode?
Can you imagine if there was, a snake fear, and just, there's just a... you and the Loa have to stop. It's sorry, there's no way we can let you on this island. You're too scared. Literally, the walls are snakes. The water is snakes here. We can't let you come on.
Her fingernails are snakes. Her kneecaps were snakes.
This whole time I've been reading about Kithix, the big old god who Ula'tek was fighting for the Imani. Do you guys know who revived Kithix in the first place?
Us, right?
Zalatath.
Ooh. When?
So Zalatath corrupted a witch doctor named Zandu of the Gurobashi tribe, and it basically was like, hey, come here, and urged him to make blood sacrifices to the creature. With his mind corrupted by the blade, the troll dismembered some of his companions with a dagger, used their blood and organs to awaken Kithix, and finally buried Zalatath, the blade, in Kithix's hide, causing the creature to rumble to life. And that is basically when he began swinging on the trolls, because remember, he was already defeated by Tyr at that point, so he was sleeping. And then he was like, I will sacrifice the trolls to you, and everyone will love it. And then that's when, obviously, how we know, Ula'tek came out and blew him up. But that's very interesting that she's also directly involved in the revival of Kithix. So, but also Malakras is in the raid. So maybe she's just like, I'll put this mask here and I'll let him do work for me for the other side this time. So how could she not be involved in any of this if that's the case?
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it's a revival of something that she had to have faced in the past, unless she's actually threatened by Ula'tek in a way. I don't know.
She's like, this time I'll turn it on you.
There's something so funny to me about, and I'm sure Ula'tek talks. I'm sure it's sentient, but it'd be very funny to me if Zalatath, the trickster old god, it was like, I am so scared of that giant animal. I will do anything to trick people into making this thing weaker because this huge snake's gonna kick my ass, dude.
Zalatath's like, the Loa? They can't cross over either. Myself, Immunization, we all have snake fear mode on, so we cannot see that guy, Sorry.
Also, Kithix, I know it was 10, 12, 15 years ago. Would that have been the gentleman that you pulled Zalatath out of in Legion? Because didn't you have to wrest her out of a Kathir?
I don't think that was Kithix, because he hasn't done anything since he got blowed up.
Okay.
The troll thing.
And that could be me just misremembering. I remember we pulled a warrior sword out of Faceless One. I forgot if Zalatath was also the case.
It could have been Zakaj, but I'm not... Legion. Centuries later, Zakaj sure back to life. The leader Twilight Hammer plan to use Zalatath to resurrect Zakaj. Entered the tomb, drinking shadowy power. Stopped. Twilight Deacon Farting later entered the grave prison with Xal'atath to perform his ritual on Zakaj, but was stopped by a priest adventurer of the Conclave. Is that you, Immunization? Did you stop Kithix? Or Zakshlush?
Yeah, that's me. I am High Priestess Immunization right here in the Warcraft Wiki. There's a little link there if you click it. Like, obviously, in canon, that was me.
Cool beans. Oh my god. But wait, we're talking story still? I want to, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna jump to the temple.
Zul'jin snatched up. We don't know if he's okay. We get Stinky Dagger, bring it back to base camp. Then I like how they didn't even really have a plan. I felt like to me, where they're like, yes, this dagger, we will be able to undo this curse, this cursed wound that Zul'jara has, and then they start channeling it onto her, and then she's like, no, I'm dying even more. And it's like, what was the plan here, guys? Then Liadrin's like, okay, our only option, destroy it. I'm like, why was that not the answer to begin with?
And then herein lies the very important question. What do they say after you cure Zul'jara? Because I talked to her. She was like, oh, this thing stinks, but we got to find Zul'jin wherever he's gone. And then it was like, okay, world quests are open. I was like, we didn't even get a little stay and chat afterwards. She's just like, I guess we got to do something. World quest it is then.
Also, something that I was thinking about as I was doing my questing, because after this, then is that when it funnels you into the Temple of Ula'tek?
So I don't know, because also Blizzard, you're in trouble. They let me go into the dungeon, and then at some point between her dying and her getting cured, that's when they send you in, because then the actual quest to do the dungeon is during sending you into the temple. So what I'm saying is I had to do the dungeon on friendship mode twice, and that shit took forever.
Wait, why'd you have to do it twice?
So it was weird. The quest, the banner quest was like, hey, you should go to the dungeon. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. But I think what it was it ended up saying, you should go physically to the dungeon.
So you didn't have to do it twice. You just, you immediately
I
beat up a follower dungeon.
I goofed up.
Yeah.
But it was giving me the option to do the dungeon right there. So I was like, I guess I will. But yes, no one else will fail to read like me. But make sure you talk to Lady Liadrin in front of the place before you do it.
I also was like, okay, I have to do the dungeon. So then I was like, I'm just gonna do Mythic 0 because, why not? I might as well. It should be easy. So I start to head down to the complex, and I'm like, God damn, this is a big goddamn jail prison they built for this bitch. I mean, I know she's a big bitch, but
yeah. Also, okay. So my question that I was getting at, was there ever a quest or anything that showed the Amani being like, yeah, we are storming the Temple of Ula'tek and setting up base in here? Or, did that just happen while we were doing, our side questing with Orwena about, the lore of Ula'tek? Because, then when we went down there to then go to the dungeon, they were all already set up there. I'm like, damn, y'all were fast for once. I feel like every other instance of World of Warcraft, we, the champions, are the ones that have to physically set these people's camps up one step by one step, or else they won't get shit done. So I'm like, wow, okay, I guess the Amani actually know how to set up a camp.
They were like, fuck it. They're like, we're not gonna let a dirty foreigner go first into our temples. Like, fuck you. We're handling this shit nasty. That's what they told me when I asked.
The truth is, they were all so juiced to go and turn Ula'tek on to do that. Just no one had ever found the knife. Those losers have been there for years. Just moving any stone. We gotta get her back. I heard there's a big snake in here. It's so cool. Only now that poison is shooting out of the walls and snakes are going everywhere, they're like, oh, we just set up a base camp. We're here to stop it all now. As they have to kick all the rocks they pried off the wall away.
But it is, I feel interesting, the entire underground zone, which is separate than the zone above ground where you have dailies and whatnot in both areas. I actually feel the underground one is kind of there's more going on here area. Did you guys notice that, like, when you're first going down, if you ground mount up, like, you're fast as fuck?
Yeah,
I did that, yes. Yeah, and I mean, I guess because, do we know if there's a portal down there yet? There are flight paths, but...
But the flight paths are also only within the temple, down underground, and they're like, this little, like, whelpling will carry you around, and, like, there's, like, little winds that you can hop on that then, like, allow you to, like, hover around, which make traversing the area not too awful. But also, I'll say it, the spicy water actually hurt.
I died
very
to spicy water because my mount was a weird shape. I was trying to hop onto a rock.
You got stuck in the spicy water.
I did. I was trying to hop onto a rock to get a quest objective, but I was in like a mech, one of the many flying mechs they like to give you right now. And it kept getting stuck on a rock, and every time I would accidentally re-enter the spicy water, it would hit me for 15%. So I cauterized, and I was like, please, I only have one more go at this before I die, to mild-manneredly sitting in spicy water. But then I got it, and I cooked a egg right there in the juice.
I had something I was going to say, but I'm just keep thinking about how delicious an egg would taste cooked down those spicy waters. It's hot down there. Also, does anybody have PvP on? I don't have mine on. I want to know what it's like down there. I should just flip the switch.
Yeah, I have not turned mine on either. Yeah, I just felt like I personally would be really annoyed with, like, the way that the area is set up. Like, the enemies in the spicy water are kicking my ass enough at this point that I'm like, I don't need Horde in here as well at the moment.
Yeah, give me like a week or two here to really get my bearings, and then I'll be rude. But yeah, while I'm doing my toxic fishing dailies, I don't want them beating me up. It's hard. I have 0 level in fishing. It's hard enough to catch the fish.
The portal question. There is no portal. However, for housing, if the Amani are visiting your neighborhood, there is indeed a portal to the Coiled Isle parked right outside. Did we get a choice? So is everybody on the Amani right now?
I don't know if we got a choice or if that just is what it is, but it is very nice. That's what I have been doing, because the flight path from anywhere on Eastern Kingdoms to the Coiled Isles takes a long fucking time. You might as well just dragonfly over there. Or open your housing panel, teleport to your plot, go to the center of Founder's Point or whatever the Horde one's called, take that portal, and that's, I think, the fastest way at this point. So then I'm going to be sad when that endeavor goes away. I feel like we need, like, a faster way to get over to the Coiled Isles, because I don't feel like it's worth it for me to put my Hearthstone there.
I almost set my heart. I was like, oh, an innkeeper. Fuck yeah, I'll set my Hearthstone here. And then I went, fuck. How do I get back anywhere? So Aaron, you have to just do that. Like,
I've already done that. But that's the thing, is I set it to up top. I set it to, like, Camp Alpha, which means I still need to go into the building, down the chute that makes you run fast to get there. And, like, that's not good. Surely there's only a week of that before... I'm sure once the raid opens up, it's like, we dug a big hole. You just hop down it and you're right there, son. Like, there is no way. Almost no way.
I don't know. I don't think we're getting a portal to the downstairs.
Or maybe they'll incorporate it in, like, we didn't even talk about, like, creepy witch doctor, like, spicy water enthusiast herself and, like, the upgrades that she gives you. I wonder if, like, it's in there somewhere, like, on a lighter part of the paths.
Oh, poison. What's her name? Eerie? E-I?
Yeah, like E-Y-R-I, Airy, something like that. Which, I didn't like that she was there. She possessed one of our friends and killed them and said, I'm gonna float around. And then you saw her up top and she's like, I'm the person who gives you your corrupted power-ups. And I was like, you should be in ghost jail. You killed one of these guys' friends.
But have you thought about how she has effectively introduced to us a new currency?
New currency!
Spicy coin.
Yeah, I don't fucking know its actual name, but I will, from now on, be calling it Spicy Coin.
That's my favorite cryptocurrency because you find it underneath the earth in a crypt.
Best now. Oh, did you guys find the goo deer? I ran into it down when I was down there.
Oh my god, that's why the goo deer reached out to us. It said, "You'll see me soon." Wink.
Also, the announcers activities in the temple, in the prison. I keep calling it a prison. It's just a temple. It's cool. I'm actually a fan of the loop that you do down there. You help patrols, and then there's 3 increasing levels after that. It's patrols, it's incursions, and then it's another one, and then it's ancient.
Yeah, I could not tell you what they are or what they're called, at least. The flow itself is fine, but I've now twice encountered it where whatever, I think it's the third step, where you then take like a crypt portal or whatever. I've had twice now had it be where it's just bugged, where like it takes you into a place and nothing is happening in there. There's some enemies, but nothing is happening in there. And then there's just like 10 of us standing around where it's like, what are we doing? And then like it just says like, it's like stuck at 000, like the time of the event. So I'm like, is this a bug?
Wait. Have you turned in your story quest? Because this happened to me when I didn't turn in a quest and I was unable to do anything, and it kept saying 000, and then I went and talked to Lady Leandrin, and then it turned on.
I'm on that quest right now, and I'm on the step to do the thing that I was then trying to do. So I went into it, and I was not operating properly.
I'm going to have to take a look at your quest. It sounds very familiar to what I did, and basically what happened to me was I missed a step, and that wasn't the step to do. What I thought it wasn't the step, and then that unlocked the 00 stuff.
Well, so maybe my problem is that like I just legitimately don't know what each of the different things that you can do down there are called, because I don't know if it's a me problem or if it's a them problem, but like whenever there's new content, I feel like their naming structure confuses the fuck out of me.
Should we write it down and tell Ian? Honestly, I feel like Ian needs to know that the naming structure sometimes is a little confusing. I feel like this has happened quite often.
Did y'all do one of them? I guess there's really only one right now. Did you do the new world boss content? Because I can say, pleasantly pleased.
Yes, the layers are open. I killed the layer boss. I didn't get shit. And also, we're rolling for shit again. What happened to just getting shit? Make up your mind.
It's interesting because I was like, it's just indoors. They're only doing it because like it's to limit lag, which probably is also true. But it was semi-difficult, and we had like actual raid mechanics we had to pay attention to. It is a little installed LFR boss. I was like, okay, like you actually just do have an LFR raid right here in the world. I do like that. It was more impressive than I thought it would be. And then, yes, you get like 5 or 6 guaranteed pieces of loot that get rolled on, which I like because you can roll on things that might actually be helpful instead of world bosses where it's like, congratulations, you got a leather shoe. And then Garlena's like, what am I going to do with this? And it's like, well, you got it.
See, I almost would rather have that system back, because then I can at least give it to an all. This one I went, well, I didn't get anything. So that was it. That's me for the week.
I don't know that I've done it yet, but I did do another name. What above ground now? The Void Surge? Something Surge?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
so
you did a
many
soul
systems.
surge.
Yes, a soul surge, I guess.
So yes, also like this whole time, like for the majority of the podcast, we've been talking about like the downstairs. There's a whole ass upstairs, above ground, where there's also more content, more quests, more world quests, so many things to do. It's jumped me to life.
Which is good, because when I was only up top, I was like, okay, this seems very limited. This seems very like there's not a lot to do. But yes, it is just split up. There will be a lot to your weekly rotation on the Coiled Isle.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming, but like at this point, I'm perfectly fine with being overwhelmed. I'll figure it out in the weeks to come. It like finally nice to have things to do again.
So you did a soul surge, curse surge, I forget what it's called. But you are the only one to do that because it's for some reason that is not coming up frequently. I mean, I was trying to do a curse surge and one never came up. And someone was like, well, when's the last one? And they're like, it hasn't popped yet. I don't know. It's bugged. It's bugged. It's bugged. So what the hell did you do? Let me know.
It was bugged, and it was a giant snake, actually.
All 3 curses were one giant snake. It's really woven together. There's 3 of them in there.
I don't know if like I got to it at like a later point of whatever was happening with it, because like my experience with it was literally just kill giant boss and then I was done. But like I flew in, there was a giant snake that was just like wiggling in this pool of spicy water, and then it said that it was unable to be attacked because I guess like there were minions that you have to kill around it first that were like channeling on it, protecting it. But it seemed as if we had, killed all of them. So then everyone was standing there like, is it bugged? And then I was like, no, guys, it's a snake.
Fuck you.
And then they were like, Metaloid, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I would have thrown refuse at you. Me and the boys would have held you under the spicy water till the bubbles stopped.
But then we had a leader who was /yelling, saying like, hey, everyone, I got a shit really bad. Can we all just move away from the boss so that it will respawn and we can get this shit over with so I can shit?
Did people comply or did they start fucking with him to make him dookie his chair?
It took a little bit of time, but eventually, like, the last several people who were AFK moved away, and then the boss, like, respawned in, and then we were able to kill it. I assume that, like, there's things that happen before you kill the final boss, but I basically just flew down, waited, like, 5 minutes for it to stop being bugged, and then killed the boss. And then what I was gonna say is that, like, I had, like, 2 quests, like, from, like, the Zul'Jara camp about, like, this surge. 1 to do 3 of them, which is crazy if you have to do 3 of them when, like, apparently I'm, like, one of the only people who has done 1 at all. But, like, the other quest gave you a piece of gear, which was a straight-up upgrade for me. I'm, like, at 1 out of 6, it was better than the belt that I was wearing by, like, 6 high level. I'm like, damn, okay. We're hopping right into this shit.
Speaking of that, you can, if you want to get your gear for what you can do so far, which is not a lot of, they're waiting for like next week for they unlock a lot of stuff. You're delving, do your delves, get up to level 8. They just give you a Delver's map this week. Ooh. They just like hand you one. The one where if you learn it, you get treasure. So get your little map, go do your delves, get it up to 8. And then once you get up to 8, eat your map, because the map's good for 8, 9, 10, 11, all the same, it doesn't matter. You can walk away with a piece of hero gear. Who knows what you get? Mine was a stinky, I do believe, but yours could be good. It's at 305, I think.
Hero track is crazy, honestly. God, I gotta get on that.
I gotta do everything. God, I love anniversaries and I love love, but I hate missing out on game. I don't even know what Demon looks like.
Oh, maybe after this we'll play a little Overwatch.
And then we did. It was a lot of fun. Demon's not too good though, but I'm learning.
But yeah, I'm having a great time. There's just like so much I want to do. I kind of want to fuck around with PvP a little bit. Apparently, you can get a spark from doing PvP, so that's crazy. That's good to know. I want to get my sparks up. Oh, there's also some mechanic. Check your bags. That's giving you little splinters. I think the main story beat gave you a splinter,
yes.
And then you got a splinter from something else. And when you squish 2 of them together, I was like, oh, okay, wow, these are my sparks. No, they just makes gear. It just makes like champion gear, and it's also good.
Yeah, because like the piece of gear I was talking about like was champion, so like it was just an upgrade. So like for a lot of people, I think there's a chance that like that type of gear is just an upgrade depending on the slot. For me, it happened to be like a slot that was like lower than the rest of them, so like that's why it was an upgrade. For a lot of my pieces, it wouldn't have been an upgrade.
Was it 293? Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. And I think like my belt or whatever slot it was like 280 something.
Also, check the 3 weeklies that are under the tent. They've been nothing burgers for decades, but all the things are upgraded now. You get a weekly from Valera. Yes, the other sister that gives you good gear. Zul'Jara's Funny Bunch rep is now attached to one of those. That's an easy way to max that out. There's still one that only uses the old reps. If you're really behind the game and need those, I guess you can click on that. Otherwise, Aethys Sunweaver, go jump off a cliff.
Yeah, I was. So I noticed they added Zul'Jara's tribe to the rep thing, like you said. And I finished the quest, and it was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was looking at all my reps, and I was like, I should honestly probably put it on one of the old ones. Since I'm like renown 11 with all of them. But I was like, right into Zul'Jara's faction it goes. I'm leveling hers up first to get the stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
A real jack of all trades, that Slidewhistle. He's vague friends with everyone, good pals with no one.
Will not commit to hanging out with them because oh my god, honestly, the Silver Moon city music kind of makes me mad now. It kind of makes me go, ugh, this is old. I don't want to be here like immediately the minute I go to the town. So I'm like, can we move all these quest givers to Ula'tek, please?
Yeah, the new loading screen, nice. But you know what's bad when like the music and vibes of Stinky Green Zone, I'm like, this could be home. This is home now.
The music's been slapping. The drums and shit have been real good. During like the be the old killer cultist queen lady who they had to hide Ula'tek away the first time. That area had really good fucking music as you're stabbing your allies in the butt. No, please, my cheeks.
Yeah, no, I actually actively thought the same thing about it. I was really vibing with the music. I don't know if it just like hit my high just right, but I was like, damn, I really like this zone. And like when I was first flying onto the Coiled Isles, when like the like when I looked at the map, I was like, I fear it's kind of given like all of the like past like 0.7 patch mini zones. But no, it's I feel like it's much more than that, especially because of the whole like zone underneath it effectively.
And speaking of underneath, it is time we get to the heart of the matter. The reason you come to the show, not for 50 plus minutes of banter. We're talking about top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. Immunization, I want you to begin.
I feel like it has to be a top toot, obviously. Bottom line, new content, love, excited. So I will just hone in on one particular thing. And it is that people are back and we're doing shit with our friends again. Breaks over, and you know it was nice like doing dungeons with the guildies again last night. Even though they're just zeros at this point, you can still do the circuit, get some gear, get ready. I'm excited. So yeah, my top two was just running content with people again, which is a little sad, but like it's like when new patch comes out, people come back type deal.
I mean, the content's here, everyone. We don't need to beat around the bush anymore. It was a rough 2 months, brother. There was not a lot of mythics or raids being done, but we're back.
Yeah, so top two, we're so back. Slidewhistle, what do you got?
Top two, tip two.
Tip two.
My top two is Demon Hunters can use daggers now.
Yay!
Honestly, that's pretty good.
I guess just more of those drops so you get a better chance at getting weapons.
Well, I get more Mog, which I like. I also like when the trading post rolls around and I see cool daggers, I always buy them because I'm like, one day I will have to main Rogue because I need to play them all at one point. But now I'm like, oh my god, more daggers for me.
Now, why would you need to main Rogue?
Yeah, some daggers are so goddamn big that they look like swords. Like I'm like, this guy's. A lot of these are not daggers. Can we make a new like short sword category or something?
Are these daggers for giants?
And then, I feel like I had a Malamute, but I don't remember what I was going to say for that one. So I'll just save my Malamute for later.
Everyone's famous Malamute.
What about you, Aaron? TT, BB, MM?
You know what? I've got a top toot, and as much as I'd love to just say we're back, baby. I'm going to hyper fixate on this top toot.
Top toot!
Hyperfixated top two. Pew, pew, pew.
Long ago, we were referring to different like boss mobs or what do you even like rare mobs? The ones that are The ones that are circle stars on the map, and they have like a dragon around them, around the border of their name.
Like in Elite or something, maybe?
In Elite, yes. We were looking at Elites, and there was one of this little snake guy who had no shoulders. It just, his arms rolled into his head, and he had 2 teethers. And he's like,
You're not gonna get away. I'm gonna get you.
I remember us being like, ho, so funny, this guy, this one man. I am pleased to announce, everyone, that model is a common use model for the children of Ula'tek. Every time you roll up into a crowd, you get about a 1 in 3 chance of one of these little doofuses being amongst them. And I love it. I tab target onto him when I'm fighting, and I see this little guy, and yeah, he's got no neck, and he's like,
Oh, we're gonna get you. I'm gonna evolve into my powerful form.
and then you beat him up, and then once you get past like his gray bar, he goes,
I'm so pooped. Please don't hurt me more.
I'm like, yes.
And I love that, like, we assign, like, this, like, baby voice to them, and then, like, everyone just refers to them as, like, yeah, those are Ula'tek's kids.
Yeah, these little goobers. There's a part in the dungeon where you as long as you don't stray to the left or right, you don't need to, like, mess with them. So it's just these little no-neck goobers are just wiggling next to eggs, like,
Hatch, hatch, and turn into big snakes for Mom.
and I just like, it's gonna be a real hoot. I hope we get to fight a big one in the raid. I hope I get to lose to a big one. Everyone gets upset and there's like drama in the Discord. Meanwhile, we're fighting just a giant no-neck thumb head.
Ula tween.
Hey, it's me. Oh,
I see one thing. There's here called Twin Fangs. I hope it's just 2 of them. Each of them only have 2 fangs.
we've got 4 fangs together, the 2 twins.
But that's me. And usually I don't go into me, but now I get to pass it off to the Patreon segment. Thank you, Aaron. We're thanking our patrons, and their names include Ahoy Vince, Azra, and Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Crucifix, Alternator, Family Man. Saracen Hawk, Justin, give me back my PhD, Arcane. Rack.
I have ridden the mighty moonworm.
Good for him.
Remy.
This is for the juggalos and juggalettes. Do not try this at home, and I hope you like it.
Kick Puncher, Sugar Bear.
Time is money, friend.
Jerome, Jahazen, Ali, Adorno, Gershom,
I'm glad he acknowledges that I'm a good boy. I am a good boy.
Wooly,
To make a long fucking story short, I put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass.
Duff the Horde Pooper Cooper, Calcus,
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Cilantro, Vanderlyle,
Have a nice day.
and Will, aka Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
If you want to become a patron like them, you can hear Yabiag and how these little piggies went to market days last week on our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/do not relent. $5, $5 foot long gets you access to all of our premium file accesses where you can hear our beautiful voices talk about beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful cocks, beautiful vajayjays. We got it all. Mustaches, beards, nose hairs. We got it all. Check it out. What about you guys?
Well, you can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at New Era Alex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
Sometimes I wonder if the Patreon subscription is affected by the promise of the beautiful cocks and beautiful vajayjays, but that's a question for another day. Hey, if you're catching me on social media, I'm Aaron at thebigacheesy on twitters.com, and you can watch me play Vigigrams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. Maybe I'll do some of that this weekend, but I gotta work all this weekend because I took too many breaks.
Oh, same. We're also gonna be working this weekend. So no, wow, we got so much work to be done. Well, we'll get through it.
That was a funny lie that they ruined anyways because they spoiled the surprise 2 weeks ago accidentally. Haha, jokes.
Big balls on our Patreon. Patreon.com/do-not-relent. See big balls.
Goofy balls, strangely large balls.
We're gonna actually be doing a Kingdom Hearts 3 porn reenactment soon. So get ready for that one. I heard
I'm
that.
gonna wreck you. It's
That
me,
was quick.
Wreck-It
Wow, that
Ralph.
was so fast. Okay. So then, what's Cubby Bub gonna do?
What, during the Kingdom Hearts 3
No,
pornographic
what's she gonna
recreation?
be? What is she gonna be? If you're Wreck-It Ralph, who are you gonna have her be? Donald? Daisy?
Well, if it's Frozen, she'll be Anna.
It's Frozen.
She'll be Sven.
Okay, everybody, goodbye. And remember, I'm gonna be sleepy.
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.